Zoom, please? Gary, are you there?
Yes, Judge, I hadn't. Yeah, you're ready,
Good morning. This is on State of Florida versus Jamel Demons. Present is Mr. Demons. Mr. Demons, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, you want to state your appearance?
Christine Brown, on behalf of the state.
And I see Miss Liberty, you're on Zoom.
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning. We expecting anybody else? That's it?
Jamie Benjamin is on, and so is Daniel Erickson, who will be joining our team.
Counsel, you want to state your appearances? Can you hear me?
You're on mute still, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Aronson. We have not filed our notice of appearance, but we're anticipating we will be doing it very shortly.
Jamie is still on mute.
I'll represent the same for Mr. Benjamin.
All right. And when would you anticipate if you're going to file an appearance filing with counsel?
Oh, sometime early next week.
All right. So, counsel, you stated your appearance, correct?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So let's get talk about what's going on. I know there was a motion. Miss Liberty, you filed a motion.
Yes, Judge, which I know you reviewed. So I didn't receive an objection from the state, and that's what we had reset for, to give her time to review it.
Understood. So there's nothing you want to add to your motion, correct?
Well, if the state wants to argue, I did have a chance to, because this was not put into order. I did provide Mr. Adelstein with an email between the state attorney and all of us stating that she was not going to put Detective Moretti on to testify to the maps, which is exactly what happened in the trial. So I would just like the chance to redepose him on that subject.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So, Your Honor, this time defense has not shown good cause for a second deposition. In the motion, they represented there are 4 areas Detective Moretti testified to: cell towers, the distance of cell tower sector bands, cell phone data records interpretation, and data that was generated from the health applications. As to the cell towers, there is no testimony from Detective Moretti on that issue. As to the distance of the cell tower bands, again, no testimony from Detective Moretti on that issue. That was all covered by Brendan Collins of the FBI. There was no interpretation of the cell phone data records done by Detective Moretti. It was just a simple plotting of the points that were in the T-Mobile records, which were already in evidence. And in terms of the health data, that was known to defense counsel since at least February of 2022, that would be relied upon. In addition, Your Honor, I would indicate that if you review the court file, would show that on August 8th of 2019, the state filed the cell phone mapping of those records. That's supplemental discovery. They were well on notice of that prior to the 2021 deposition of Detective Moretti. In addition, during the 2021 deposition of Detective Moretti, starting on page 43 through 45, there was questions asked of Detective Moretti about the cell phone analysis. I have that excerpt for Your Honor to review, if need be. With regards to any additional deposition, again, they have to show good cause, and this was a demand for speedy trial. We're still traveling under that, so at this point, the state would say that it would be inappropriate to grant a second deposition of the detective.
Judge, may I respond?
Sure.
As far as the steps came that from the Apple Health data, she didn't, the state attorney themselves didn't bring it to our attention until well after, almost a year after we deposed Detective Moretti. If Mr. Adelstein would show you the email that she sent stating that Moretti was not going to be testifying to these things. And thirdly, my motion, I had actually went to the transcripts of the trial testimony of Detective Moretti writing that motion. So in fact, he did testify. She goes specifically to the distance. It was on the cross-examination. Mr. Adelstein asked him about the distance. He responded totally different than what the FBI had responded. So I believe we have shown good cause. And we would like to redepose Detective Moretti specifically on those items set forth in the motion and what he had testified to at the trial.
Thank you. Anything else to discuss?
As far as that motion?
Yes.
No, I think Ms. Liberty stated
All right, I'll defer ruling. You wanted me to see your transcript. I'll take a look at your transcript. And, she said you were going to provide me something, an email. I haven't seen
The
it.
email has not, I could show it. Do you have it? No, your email.
Stuart, if you could just show the judge the email, it would be the last paragraph of the email, Judge.
Yes, this is, so I can totally pull that one up at the end of the time.
She just emailed it.
Why don't you just email it to my office? Just any objection if you just emails it to my office?
No, you're right. I just think we need to get the actual email. I can print it out if you just tell me to.
When did you receive it, Brandon?
Stuart, hold on, I would come off of the, it would have been almost a year ago because it would have been close to when we were
Excuse me.
doing the Dahlberg, so
Thank you.
I would have to actually go. I just took a screenshot, Judge, this morning to give it to Mr. Adelstein.
It didn't all come out. What we'll do is,
Just
I'll
talk
send
about it and give me a copy.
Fair
All
enough.
right?
Fair enough.
All right, so anything else on this case?
There's one other issue. I would ask the court to consider setting the trial from October 2nd to the following week, October 9th, I think, would be the date. As I indicated, unbeknownst to me, my wife had planned a trip during the week of October 1st. Canceled if the court will not roll it over. But I would ask the court to consider setting the trial on October 9th.
What's his state?
That's fine. Let's take it.
So, just a short order. Saying it's meant to commence, it's well within the speedy trial issue, correct?
A waiver if it was on there. I believe that it was until October 1st.
That's my calculation.
So, tell me you think that this is a waiver for speeding? Is that what you're saying?
They were asking for a time outside of the 90 days. That would be a delay attributable to the defense, which would then waive any right to ask for any motion to dismiss under that.
But
It's not outside of the 90 days.
that's what we agreed. It's within the 90 days. So there's no way.
All I'm trying to, I thought I heard a waiver, and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page, all right?
I think we're on the same page. It's not a waiver of speedy trial. It's within the 90-day period of time.
So, October 9th is a Monday, right?
Yes.
And when is your trip?
It starts September, let's say, I believe it's 26 or 27 through the 4th,
The 4th.
which is a Wednesday.
So, we're all good. Stated no objection to defense request, so just reset a rule of the trial for a week.
Thank you.
October, I'm sorry? It is short, just so everybody knows we're on, set for October 9th. Okay, anything else to discuss?
And here's a copy of the email.
Thank you. Is there anything else to discuss?
No, sir.
Thank you all.
I finally was able to get rid of the mute. I just wanted to say hello this morning. Jamie Benjamin, waiting to come in as attorney of record on the case, but we haven't been able to do that yet.
Understood. That's what your colleague indicated, that hopefully next week you'll make some determination whether you're in or out. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Judge, would you want me to send you the excerpts from Detective Moretti's testimony regarding my motion? Pardon me?
Excuse me, Counsel. I try to read everything you tell me, you want me to look at, and if you haven't brought it up yet, I mean, you need to send it to the state. I don't know if she's gonna want to rebut something that was in there by another piece. If you want to send something, you let the state know, and, you send copies to everybody. But the hearing's concluded.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Council, good morning. Kobe. Good morning, Mr. Gray, can you hear everything?
There's Brad Collins and Patrick Sheila Johnson. They don't want to bring them up together, and I can wait.
And Arthur Wall speaking for Ron Derek McLemore, Your Honor. And I spoke to Mr. McLemore, and he understands the situation, and I have authority to waive his appearance this morning.
All right, so I guess this was set to try to figure out if we could get a trial date or figure out when we think we'd be ready for trial.
Take the lead on that.
We're having trouble just setting that position. Prosecutors indicated it should get handled today at the time. So I'll be setting that position.
Yes.
3 days, and I'll set depositions on those days. Hopefully we'll have a better idea where those cases go.
And are those days good for your colleagues?
What date?
Oh, there you go.
24th.
Yeah.
Yes? And,
Judge, good morning, Diana Twain on behalf of the state. To be clear, it wasn't until yesterday that council's reached out to me for dates. And so, of course, if we are at the beginning of August, I don't have any availability based on my trial schedule and pre-trials and everything I have going on the next 2 months. So end of October, much more availability. It looks like we're going to be able to set that position for the first time in this case.
That's correct, Judge. I was out 3 weeks in July. I had COVID again, the second one, so I was out of service for 3 weeks. And I had a order for this brief that I was on.
we're not aware of any of those type of issues. Or we got a court.
You could throw in that these guys are traveling internationally too. I was watching some of their things, but
I just have jet lag.
I'm healthy. I'm right here,
I
Judge.
get, my only issue, counsel, is the 2019 case and has to get moved. So why don't we do this? Your deposition at the end of October, why don't we put it in for another status the first part of November and pick a date then that works for
That was going
everybody?
to be my request, Judge.
That makes sense.
So, counsel, for each of you, and just take one at a time. Your client's previous to a speedy trial, I take it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, for Ron Derek McLemore.
So it'd be a defense continuance then on everybody's part?
Yes, sir.
No objection.
And then we set it for a status in November. If something comes up, just contact my JA and we can put it on the docket anytime you want. All right?
Very good point.
All right, guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
No, I gave him status. Did give him status.
Movement.
First part of November. Friday. Is that good for you guys? November 10th?
Very good, Your Honor.
State, 10th?
Yes,
10th? November 10th?